Moving on to long ball number 3 here today on Monday, the 29th. I'm Robert. He's Jason. Looking at the second tier of American soccer, USL Championship, they are in their playoff push. Just about 4 games to go for most of the teams. And if you look at the top of the table, a very familiar name at the top of the heap, leading all challengers, Louisville City, a 8-point lead over second place Charleston with 4 games to go. Louisville continued to be the cream of the crop there in the USL Championship.
Yeah, I mean, this is they've been consistently good, and while I don't know that parity is as strong an influence on the league in the USL as it is in Major League Soccer. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't some constraints on spending. It's just not as baked into the league's
That's
modus operandi.
It's just
Go
what
ahead.
the money is available rather than the mechanics of the league, right?
Basically, right. And we're going to talk more about the USL and players and relationships and benefits and all those things a little bit later on the program. But I absolutely am struck, Rob, by just how consistently good Louisville City has been. Now they only have one player shield, which is what they call their points winner, their points title is the player shield in USL. They only have one of those. They do have a couple of USL championships, but those go back far enough that they're almost like not they're not in recent memory. I mean, when you're old like us, something that happened in 2018 is like yesterday. But I imagine that for
Yeah.
fans of Louisville City, it feels like a long time ago that this team won that trophy. So they're going for the Players Shield. They're going for a USL Championship, which has eluded them recently. But again, in an American sports league of any kind, to be as good as they have consistently been is remarkable. And they did it they did it, navigating coaching changes and things. I think Danny Cruz just won his 100th game or what was it? Something like that. Like he won his 100th game for Louisville City. I think I have that right. So, looking at this last couple of years, again, last year they finished first overall. They won the players. I'm sorry, they won the Players Shield last year. That was the first one. That's the only one that they have. They have finished first in the East, though, 4 times since 2017. Again, they won the league title in 2017 and 2018 going back to back. It's been semifinal appearances the last couple of years. They're going to win the Players Shield again. So I just thought, hey, we absolutely should take stock of what Louisville City has done. Most recently, to the chagrin of some people who work on this show, they beat Detroit City FC at Keyworth 1-0. Maybe not the better team on the day in sort of obvious ways, Rob, but enough to get it done on the road against a team that's always going to give you a tough match, even though we sort of wonder where Detroit City is talent-wise.
Yeah, and in our mission and our credo to dot the map, I definitely think that getting Louisville City on our map, connecting with them in a heartier way would be important because they're the team, like I said, cream of the crop. They've taken on, they are definitely seem them like the most serious club in the division. They had the soccer specific stadium before everyone else. They're oftentimes winning trophies. They got the silverware locked up, and they have a gargantuan lead yet again this year. So definitely for folks that only kind of keep their filter on the top divisions, is well worth noting that Louisville City, a major player in American soccer. Looking at the standings, though, you're talking about parity. Looking between the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference, the USL
Yeah.
Championship, one
No.
is not like the other.
No.
Louisville City, with 4 games to go, sitting on 63 points. Charleston Battery, who we'll talk about a little bit later, 8 points behind, and then it drops off another 15 points to North Carolina in third. But we go across to the Western Conference. Tulsa leading the way with only 47 points. So a lot farther behind, not really being chased for that top spot. The Players Shield, not really in contention from a Western Conference team. Louisville City with 19 wins. FC Tulsa leading the West with just 13 wins. So it kind of puts an exclamation mark on that dominance. And if you look down to the third place team, New Mexico United, should be noted, and it's been in this live chat, get in the chat if you haven't already, suffered or endured a 4-hour delay to get their win on the weekend, a 2-1 win over Lexington, a marathon match out there in the high desert.
Yeah, in terms of the West, as you said, there's it's not quite at the heights are not hit. Although, I mean, I think it's because of the tightness of it. It is certainly interesting, dramatic, fascinating to see how it will play out in the end. As we had Soccer Night in Detroit say, if Louisville City wins the Players Shield, which it looks like they are, I'm not sure. I haven't done the math to see how close they are to locking it up. That would be something. But this is a club that has done that before. They did it last year, and they didn't win a championship. And he's saying that it would not be enough. They need to achieve earning the third star. Falling short would be a huge failure. And this is the way we measure American sports teams. It's not by what you do in the regular season, no matter what we compare ourselves to in terms of world football and soccer in other places. You got to win the playoff tournament. You have to win the championship on the field with that one final match. I mean, you think about the Super Bowl. If you go, how many games they play in the NFL now, Rob? This is 17?
17.
Yeah, let's say you go 10-7, which is a fairly, that's not a great record. That's not like a dominant record. Let's say you go 10-7 and you win the Super Bowl. Nobody goes back and goes, yeah, but they weren't really good. Look, they were only 10-7. They couldn't have been that good. It doesn't matter. What matters is that you win that Super Bowl and you lift that trophy. So that's where we are with Louisville City. I think at this point, I do think it's also interesting. You mentioned the stadium. Getting that place built was a watershed moment in American soccer. Like, it was a massive deal that a second division soccer team with no real belief that they were going to go up to Major League Soccer or be added to the MLS ranks decided to build their own building, a home that they could call their own for however long they need to be in that building. Now, we're waiting to see what USL is going to do with Pro Rel, First Division, all those things. Louisville City is absolutely going to be in that mix for the First Division. And once they're there, are they going to be as dominant as they've been to this point?
We shall see how that plays out. And will they achieve those heights? Once again, we'll see about that. You were talking about the regular season versus the postseason. The analogy is like the New York Giants versus the Colts back in the day. Like Eli Manning, they had some pretty, just above average, but they knocked New England off their perch. They knocked
you said
Colts off their porch.
Okay.
Old
All
Giants.
right.
So maybe you're talking about, maybe I'm dating myself a bit too much. That's about 15 years ago.
No.
But
You said Colts.
season,
I think Patriots first, but yeah, that's exactly the reference. I mean, look, wild card teams have won the Super Bowl. This is not the same thing, right? Louisville is a very good regular season team. So, I don't know that there's anybody that's okay. What I was going to say is that we've seen this in MLS too. You do need to finish near the top of the standings to go win the MLS Cup title, but you don't have to finish first. You probably don't have to finish second. You can maybe finish fourth. So that's what Louisville has to guard against: being the best team over the course of the regular season, best record, best goal difference, consistently winning, but go in the playoffs and lay an egg or fall flat or miss that opportunity to win the league title.
That brings us to the halfway mark of Monday's live edition of Morning Kick Around. If you're tuned in, if you haven't subscribed yet, do so now. Hit the button. Helps us out tremendously. Doesn't cost you a darn thing. If you got a couple dollarooskies in your pocket you want to throw our way, $3.99 a month, but gets you a membership. Become an MK Ultra. Early access to videos prior to coming to these live videos and bonus content and a great Morning Kick Around Discord server, which is kind of started, like the conversation is flowing so much that's kind of programming a lot of the show these days.
Yes,
so
it's a great stuff. There's some great stuff over there. I think we need someone to log some of Rob's Robisms. They always catch. Last week we got what did we get?
A Ned Flanders by
a
accident.
Ned Flanders. What was it?
Ned Flanders.
Oakley Dokley. Is that what we got? We got an Oakley Dokley today. Dalaruskis is not one I'm just not used to that, Rob. I'm sorry. It's not people don't say that around me very often. So here we go.
It's all part of this cross-continental fun we have going here on Morning Kick Around. Dotting the map with local colloquialisms, or at least individual quirks at the very